A horrifying new trailer has just dropped for the upcoming horror game Reanimal, and it gives us new gameplay shots, an epic sound design, and a release date. My name is HulkingEnigma, and this is Well That's Horrifying. Welcome to Well That's Horrifying, the informational podcast where we discuss all things horror game. The second trailer for Reanimal is dropped, and it is the official release date trailer. So let's dive in and talk about the game Reanimal and this brand new trailer. First, if you don't know what Reanimal is, here is a quick overview. The original creators of Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2 have returned to take you on a more terrifying journey than ever before. In this co-op horror adventure game, you play as brother and sister who go through hell to rescue their missing friends. Exploring by boat and on land, you must use your wits to survive, work together to escape this hellish island and the dark secrets that haunt you. This game is described as horror with hope. This unsettling tale emphasizes tension and thick atmosphere as you join the two orphans on a desperate search for hope and redemption in the direst of circumstances. Which, to be honest, with how Little Nightmares 1 and 2 both ended, I'm not expecting much hope to be found in this game. The game already looks amazing, and it is said to be the game Tarsier Studio wanted to make this entire time. The elements are dark, mysterious, and terrifying, and I'm willing to bet it'll have a significant impact on whoever plays it. So, without further ado, let's dive into the new release date trailer. The trailer begins with one of our main characters, the brother, on a boat. He is looking over it and scanning the water. After moving to the other side, he pulls up his sister, who was barely surviving in the water for some unknown reason. Next, we cut to the cover photo monster, this abomination in sheep's clothing. Literally. I will call this creature Dolly from now on, at least until we know its official name. Bonus points if you know why I picked the name Dolly. It seems to be feasting on something. And I will say the sound design for this game is amazing. These monsters sound horrifying, and I can't wait to experience them firsthand. Next, we cut to the siblings working together to turn a wheel, climb a ladder, and sneak through a warehouse. We also get a look at one of the humanoid enemies we'll encounter in the game. This particular one is pulling down a door. I guess we'll see many of these sneaking sections, very similar to Little Nightmares. I am excited to see how all these humanoid monsters will look. Little Nightmares had some very iconic residents, and I'm curious to see how the devs have improved upon their designs and how they'll make these new ones even more iconic. Next, we see the brother turning on a light and these new enemies scattering to the shadows. This reminds me a lot of the Shadow Kids from Little Nightmares 2, except I don't think they're actually shadows this time. In the next scene, we see the brother fighting off one of these monsters with a crowbar, and it looks like pieces are flying off of it with every hit, so maybe these monsters are made of dirt or clay or something like that. Either way, I am excited to see them and to be able to fight them off, honestly, because fighting off a monster in a horror game, especially when most of them are gigantic compared to you, really feels good. We next see a scene where we're driving a boat, and I am very excited to experience this in the game. This makes the game very different from Little Nightmares, and I'm really curious on how they'll really make this work. The boat seems to come into play a lot in the trailers, which only means it probably comes into play a lot during the game. And it looks like it's going to be used for more than getting from location to location, but actually traversing through the maps, escaping enemies, who knows. Either way, I am expecting many jump scares and chases in the boat, and that makes me very excited. It then cuts to a scene of multiple kids sitting at a bus stop. We already know the siblings are trying to save their friends, so these are probably a few of them after being saved. This could be a safe location to leave the friends once they've been saved, and maybe it slowly fills up as you save more. It could also just be a simple part of the game where everyone is just waiting for a bus or some type of vehicle to arrive. We'll have to play the game to truly find out. Next, we see multiple kids approaching a large warship using a small boat. It would be really neat if this was actually the safe place for the kids. Like after every time you save a few of them, you take them to this warship and more are on it, and you kind of come back here like a home base. But let's be real, it's probably just another level we need to make it through. I'm also wondering about all this war imagery we see in the trailers. I mean, we see trenches, we see explosions, we see these warships. What exactly happened here? What caused all these monsters to invade and destroy these kids' homes? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments down below. We next see the siblings sneaking through a laundromat and a humanoid enemy hears them and starts to chase them. We then see them running out of a movie theater, driving a boat again, running from these white fox-like creatures, falling down coal while running from Dolly, and driving a boat while avoiding humanoid creatures that are pouring out of a bus. And this part gives me major guest and viewer vibes whenever they're chasing you in Little Nightmares, and I'm a fan of that. Then we have a van sequence, and holy crap, this is an epic looking van sequence. This part looks like we're running from the same creatures that were pouring out of the bus earlier. We can see one of them rolling down the road after being knocked out the van. And like I said, my gosh, this part looks so much fun. I'm curious as if we'll actually control the van, or if it's one of our friends or the sister actually driving it, and we just have to knock off the enemies as they try to get onto it. Either way, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to play it. The next scene is the most interesting to me. We see the siblings running from Dolly in a trench with red lights shining everywhere. Like I mentioned earlier, this is an example of war imagery, and it also looks like it could be one of the most horrifying parts of the game. I kind of wish it wasn't in the trailer and we could be surprised with it in the game, but at the same time, this does really excite me. And I really hope to see even more crazier and more horrifying events in the game that make this look like a walk in the park. We next see Dolly eating someone, which is probably one of the creatures we saw earlier, and then turning around. And I'm willing to bet this is probably right before the chase sequence in the trench, which we just saw. We next fade into the logo with the siblings driving a boat to these cliffs, and we can see these explosions in the background and hear many interesting noises. And that's the trailer for the game. I am very excited. I plan to pre-order this game and stream it here on this channel when it comes out, and I'd love to see you there so we can discuss all the mysteries, the secret, the lore, everything that we can about this game. Let me know your thoughts on the trailer in the comments below, and if you're excited for this upcoming game. My name's HulkingEnigma, and this has been Well That's Horrifying. See you in the next one.